You're not afraid of dying. Not really. Not in the way your ancient brain is wired to fear something far older, far more primal, far more terrifying than the end of your own life. And the proof is hiding in plain sight, in the way your chest tightens when a room goes quiet after you walk in the way your stomach drops when your phone shows no new messages for hours, in the way a single cold shoulder from someone you care about can ruin an entire day. But the real answer is far stranger. The thing your ancestors feared more than death was being cast out, being left behind, being alone. And that fear did not stay in the past. It followed you here, into your modern life, and it is running more of your decisions than you will ever consciously realize. To understand why, you have to go back. Way back. Before cities. Before language. Before fire was something you could make on demand. Picture the African savannah, 2 million years ago. Your ancestors were not the biggest creatures out there. They were not the fastest. They had no claws, no venom, no natural armor. What they had was each other. And that was everything. A single human alone on the savannah at night was a dead human. Full stop. No exceptions. You could not hunt large prey alone. You could not stay awake long enough to watch for predators while also sleeping. You could not carry a sick child and forage and defend territory all at once. The group was not a comfort. The group was survival itself. And being removed from the group was not a social consequence. It was a death sentence, just one that arrived slowly, over days, rather than in a single violent moment. So here is what evolution did. It built a system inside your nervous system that made social rejection feel like physical danger, not metaphorically, literally. The same neural pathways that process physical pain also process the pain of exclusion. This was proven in 2003 by neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger at UCLA. She put participants in a brain scanner and had them play a simple virtual ball-tossing game. When the other players, who were actually just programmed responses, stopped including the participant, the brain lit up in the same region responsible for processing physical pain. Being left out of a ball game activated the same biological alarm system as being burned. Your brain treats being excluded the same way it treats being hurt, because for 2 million years, they were the same thing. Now think about what this means for the way you live today. Every time you hesitate before sending a text because you are afraid of being ignored, that is your ancient fear of ostracism activating. Every time you say yes to something you do not want to do because you are terrified of disappointing the group, that is the same 2-million-year-old survival program running in the background. Every time you check your social media likes and feel a strange, hollow feeling when the numbers are low, you are not being shallow. You are experiencing a fear response that kept your ancestors alive. But here is where it gets deeper. Ancient human groups did not just passively exclude members. They had rituals, deliberate, formal, terrifying rituals of banishment. Across almost every hunter-gatherer society that anthropologists have studied, there are records of ostracism being used as the most severe form of punishment available. Not violence, not imprisonment, removal. Because removal was understood to mean death. Anthropologist Christopher Boehm spent decades studying the behavior of hunter-gatherer societies and documented how groups would systematically exclude individuals who hoarded resources, displayed dominance, or refused to cooperate. The group would begin by withdrawing attention, then by refusing to share food, then by physically relocating the camp without telling the excluded individual where they were going. The message was clear, and it was lethal. You are no longer one of us. You are alone now. And alone, out there, means you do not survive. This is why your body reacts to social rejection the way it does. The hollow feeling in your chest when someone pulls away. The obsessive mental replay of a conversation that went wrong. The inability to focus on anything else after a public humiliation. These are not signs of weakness or emotional immaturity. They are signs that your nervous system is doing exactly what it evolved to do, treating social disconnection as a life-threatening emergency. Here is something that will stop you mid-thought. Research by psychologist John Cacioppo at the University of Chicago showed that chronic loneliness is more dangerous to your physical health than smoking 15 cigarettes a day. More dangerous than obesity. Loneliness triggers inflammation in the body, disrupts sleep architecture, weakens the immune system, and accelerates cognitive decline. Your body is not just sad when it is isolated. It is in a state of biological emergency. It is behaving as if you're standing alone on a savannah with predators circling, because evolutionarily speaking, that is exactly what isolation has always meant. So your ancestors did not fear death the way you might fear a falling elevator or a speeding car. Those fears are real, but they are reactive. They respond to an immediate threat. The fear of ostracism is different. It is anticipatory. It runs constantly in the background, like a monitoring system that never fully powers down, scanning your social environment for any sign that your status in the group might be slipping. A slight change in someone's tone of voice. A missed invitation. A group conversation you were not included in. The system notices all of it, and it flags all of it as potential danger, because for 2 million years, those signals were potential danger. And here is the counterintuitive twist. This fear was so powerful, so deeply encoded, that many ancient cultures developed something remarkable in response to it. They did not just fear death less than ostracism. They deliberately chose death over ostracism. Across dozens of documented cultures, anthropologists have found that individuals facing permanent banishment often chose to end their own lives rather than face an existence outside the group. Exile was considered a worse fate than execution, and many condemned individuals, when given the choice, chose execution precisely because it was faster and came with the dignity of remaining inside the social structure until the end. You're living with that same calculus playing out at a much quieter volume every single day. The reason public speaking terrifies more people than death itself, and it consistently ranks higher in surveys, is not because you are afraid of forgetting your words. It is because standing alone in front of a group, exposed, vulnerable, being watched and potentially judged, activates the oldest fear your species carries. What if they reject me? What if they cast me out? The threat is not embarrassment. The threat to your nervous system is exile. But understanding this changes something. Because once you can see the fear for what it actually is, an ancient survival program running in a modern context where it almost never applies, you can begin to work with it rather than being run by it. The group is not going to leave you behind because you sent an imperfect email. The camp is not going to relocate without you because you said the wrong thing at dinner. Your nervous system does not know that yet. But you do. There is something quietly profound in the idea that the thing your ancestors feared most was not a predator, not starvation, not the dark. It was separation from each other. That the deepest biological alarm your species ever evolved was not triggered by danger from the outside world, but by the prospect of losing connection to the people inside it. Which means the anxiety you feel when a friendship goes cold is not a flaw in your psychology. It is ancient evidence of how much human beings have always needed each other. Not as a preference, not as a comfort, as a biological necessity woven into the oldest parts of who you are. So the next time your chest tightens because someone did not text back, or because a room went quiet when you entered, or because you were the only one not included in something, try to remember this. That tightening is not weakness. It is 2 million years of your ancestors surviving because they took belonging seriously. It is the oldest alarm your species has, doing exactly what it was built to do. And the fact that you feel it so strongly is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that you are, in the most ancient and fundamental sense, unmistakably human.